Really? Standing over the docks like, do you have any meth? Wait, I'm driving. Raymond, you're Jamie here. I don't know.
Hey guys, welcome to the Let Me Call You Back podcast. This comedy podcast features Declan Brooks, my brother, and an aspiring stand-up comedian on our weekly phone calls. We talk daily happenings of life, ludicrous news, and comical interactions with others while out and about in the world. Please enjoy. Guys, welcome back to the show. The Let Me Call You Back podcast. Give us a call when you get a chance. 215-360-3451. I'm here with the talent of the show, the supreme leader. Declan, how are you?
Hello, Raymond. I heard that you're pretty talented as well. Did you know that Raymond picks a special drink each month that he submits to his leadership to be told it's terrible? To George's defense, you are just taking half and half and mixing it with vodka.
Dude, that was the worst thing I've ever tasted. It was blue curacao and half.
Raymond made a blueberry cocktail. He was like, yeah, I'm going to take some blueberries, soak it in milk, mix it with blue curacao, and a little bit of chicory.
I'm coming up with a new one. I have whiskey for the summertime.
Have you been aging whiskey in strawberries or anything?
I'm workshopping something. I'm not sure yet.
I was close on that one. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like you're soaking some strawberries in whiskey. Am I close?
I can't do strawberries again. I just did strawberries brandy.
That's what I thought. You did just do a strawberry, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did a strawberry brandy.
What do we got going on, Declan?
I don't know, man. I'm sitting out in my car, recording my episode in the car, brother, because got a crying baby in that
Why
fucker.
are you hiding?
Yeah, I'm trying to hide from my family. I'm tired of it. No, came home this weekend. I got home Friday morning early because I left late Thursday night. The baby didn't gain as much weight as we expected it to, so they wanted us to try and get him eaten up and ready for another weight check that we had late Friday, and I would be home for that, so I left early. So, kid gained enough weight. We got a fat baby.
Just hit Taco Bell.
Dude, I tried to, but apparently that just blows the butthole further out. So, I mean, I lose weight when I go to Taco Bell, even though I eat my weight in tacos. I just came home from Maine. It was an all right week. Maine's a slow scene. There's not much going on other than like a few mics, and the mics that are going on, they're very slow or interesting is the best way I'll put it. I went to my favorite mic in the Northeast, I think, is Cheese Louise. Even though it's not the busiest, my friend Josh Marquis runs it, and every time we get done Tuesday nights, we head over to the East Ender, which is a quaint little bar settled right in downtown South Portland that has the hottest karaoke going on in town.
Is it packed?
Have I talked about karaoke on here before?
What do you mean? Of course.
In karaoke, yeah.
That's all you talk about.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty packed. The karaoke night's always busy. It's always like 2 or 3 ex-musical people from high school and 1 or 2 possibly professional singers, and then the rest just most likely handicapped people that are just out having a good time singing Backstreet Boys and Taylor Swift. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
This week I saw 3 interesting characters I don't normally see. The pretty chubby, not so handsome male group out at a karaoke. I didn't think these guys would normally be there, but 3 chubby whites hanging out in the corner, not singing any songs, just vibing, supporting the culture.
It sounds like I'd be in that group.
It was like a couple guys that might have been like 150 pounds heavier than you, maybe looked like you a little bit, hanging out in the corner with some ripped jeans and jackets on. Pretty handsome group, if I did say so myself. They weren't blending in too much. They were sitting there just drinking like rum and cokes.
Some chubby allies.
Chubby brothers. So this was impressive. This girl sang a very beautiful song. What the fuck was the song? Whatever it was, she pretty much was singing about being like, I matter. Like, is what the song was written about. It was beautiful. But before she went up there, the whole time I'm just watching this lunatic in the middle of a crowded bar playing with a yo-yo, up and down with a yo-yo, just like playing with it. And then her song came on and she's like, well, here I am. And like, This isn't me judging the person. This is just me identifying her and seeing her. She looked like kind of a chubby white girl who was transitioning with red hair, and she was swinging a yo-yo in the middle of a crowded bar. She was sticking out like a sore thumb. I don't know if she was trying to blend in or not trying to blend in, but I mean, you could see this girl from like, I mean,
You're not trying to blend in if you got a yo-yo in your hand at a bar.
I don't want to insult her by calling her a her, because honestly, I think it was a they, but she slammed that song and then goes right back into a like whatever the song was, it wasn't this song, but like the words were like, "You are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't break me." Like, one of those songs.
Yeah.
And the whole time she's singing it, all the girls were like, "Yeah, girl,
Yes,
sing
queen.
it. This shit is beautiful, bitch. Yes. Oh, oh." like hyping her up the whole time while she's singing it.
I feel like it wasn't even a group of girls. It was just you saying it.
She just went back to her seat, sipped her glass of milk, and played with her yo-yo.
She had milk?
Sight to see. No. I mean, I'm just saying how bizarre this was. I was expecting her to go back to drinking a fucking chocolate milk with a bendy straw. That's how bizarre this scene was.
She sits down, she picks up an Oreo, dunks it in milk with one hand, has the fucking yo-yo going with the other.
She just sits down. She's like, "Can I show you something?" I'm like, "Yeah." She just takes a fork and puts an Oreo on it and dips it in a chocolate milk. She's like, "You're welcome." So it was a beautiful night. I got up there, sang a beautiful song. I don't know what happened. I just lost the room with the song I had. I was singing "Tight Fitting Jeans" by Conway Twitty.
They didn't like it?
They did, but like halfway through the song, because it's like a country song, you can tell just people are just like, "All right, put on something different. This isn't Shania Twain."
Yeah.
And then they got a new karaoke system at the East Ender. They're upgrading. Debbie's fucking putting in that time, getting that money up, getting a better system. Their system used to be like you walk in, they had a book full of songs, and you'd come in, write down your stuff, and they'd put it on the list, and that's how you'd get your song. It was kind of like an older, shittier karaoke system, and now they have a new one where all you do is scan a QR code when you come in. Then you go to their website, kind of like a TouchTunes, and then you pick out your song, put yourself in the list, and they have all new songs. So I was like, wait a minute, let me look up my favorite singer right now, Tyler Childers. So I ripped the shit out of some Feathered Indians. People were really all about my singing at the beginning of the song. Like, it was a beautiful song.
That's a great song, dude.
Dude, it was a great song, and I did very well with it. I got some support from the crowd. But again, about halfway through, it's like such a beautiful song. People are just like, all right, let's see some like Backstreet Boys. What's going on here? I'm
trying to shake some ass.
Yeah. The next song that came on was "I Want It That Way," and it was a little tight Asian kid, so he rocked the house. It made me look bad, but other than that, I mean, good night of Yokian. Great night of Yokian.
Yeah.
It was a fun night, but I did my comedy at Cheese Louise that night, and it's so weird. I wonder if he follows this at all. I doubt he does, because he's kind of like a smell his own fart kind of guy. But
what does that mean?
He's stuck up. He sniffs his own farts. He likes the smell of his own farts. So he's the guy that bombed in front of me, and then bombed after me the last time I was here. 2 nights in a row, he bombed at Cheese Louise, and the woman said something to him, and he's like, you just talk in front of people's sets and stuff and everything, and he just like ruined his set by being a dick to her. He's kind of a weirdo. And the last time I was there, he blew up on these people, and then he's like, "So here's my flyer for my sketch show. Come out and see it, blah, blah, blah." So like, I know he's full of shit, because I've talked to plenty of people that are like, he's full of shit, and he's kind of a ass kisser and whatnot. But I see him out front. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, so-and-so? How'd your sketch show go?" "Really well. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it." Talk to somebody later. It didn't go that well. And then I'm talking to him after I went up. I'm like, "Yo, are you on the list?" He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm just hanging out the scene watching tonight." So like, I told him I was going last. I signed up last, and 2 or 3 people before I'm about to go, he's like, "You know what? I'm going to sign up." So he puts himself last after me. Not saying I'm a hot cheese sandwich or nothing, but I killed. I had a good set. And for some reason, right after he goes after me, he just bombs. Bombs bad enough to where he ends his set. It's a 5-minute set. And he ends at 3 minutes. He's like, "All right, that's enough of that. Have a good night, guys." Just ruined the end of the open mic. When you do open mics, the last person is like the quote unquote joking headliner, and he just ruined it. So then Josh saves it because like the girls that work at Cheese Louise, they both always are closing the bar when karaoke's going on. So he's like, we're gonna do an impromptu yoki right now, and busts out karaoke for the two girls working there. So the two girls working at this bar proceeded to sing to the bar. It was pretty funny. Totally fixed terrible mood. So bleep that out because I don't want him to know I'm talking about him. You can bleep out later. You're gonna have to bleep out that one too. So I did good. I get off stage. It's the same level. It's not even on a stage. I was standing in front of people at
You're
tables.
just standing next to people eating fucking grilled cheeses.
I'm just sitting there like brushing hair out of my face, like oh. The lights are in my eyes. I can't see anything. The guy that just ate a bag of dog shit comes up to me after everything. He's like, dude, you did really good today. I forgot about you from last time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I helped set up the Portland Comedy Festival with so-and-so. You've heard of it, right? I'm like, yeah. He's, have you submitted to it? I'm like, nah, man. I was like, I travel for work. I'm not going to have time to be up here. He's like, well, it's in August. He's like, it's a $50 sign up. He's like, if you want to submit to it, we'll put you up. I'm like, yeah, maybe, man. I don't think so. He's like, well, listen, even if you're back here the week of the comedy festival, let me know and I'll put you on a stage. So I got invited to the Portland Comedy Festival.
Nice.
Will I do anything with it? Most likely not.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I got invited that means the most.
That's cool.
Another little feather in my cap. This is the second comedy festival I've been invited to that I can't go to. Like, well, Western Mass was, he invited me to an event 2 days later. He's like, yeah, it's this Friday night. And I'm like, going home. Like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not going to plan to go to Maine in August unless I'm there for work.
Is it that large of a festival?
I don't know. I'm really not sure. I think last time they said Mark Norman did the Mark Norman show there, and B and Ian was there, and someone else was there. I don't know. I have no clue how successful it is, but I was invited, so we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Wednesday was interesting because the normal mic I would go to, the guy posted on his Facebook and literally said, I haven't canceled this in a few weeks, so have a good day. And literally he was canceling the mic that way. Like,
yeah.
So he canceled the close one to me, so I had to drive like 40 minutes north to a different one, and I did good at that one, met some Portland, Maine comedians and whatnot, and I busted out one of the local favorites, I think. I don't know if it's local. Where is this even made? Genesee? Where's the Genesee brand made at, if you can search it up?
The beer, Genesee Cream Ale?
Well, Genesee is a brand. Cream Ale is one of their beers.
So it's based in Rochester, New York.
Rochester, okay.
Is it Rochester or Rochester?
Rochester.
Rochester, New York.
Rochester.
Founded in 1878.
Nice. So I was slamming a couple of those back. They were $3 a piece. I drank the last 4 in the building. The guy was like, there's 4 left. You gonna drink them, you think? I'm like, yeah. Buddy, is this a challenge? Yes. Like, he was pouring them in glasses. I'm like, you're trying to get these in me, ain't you? Trying to get this fucking lonely traveler drunk.
Are you saying you talked about it on stage? How'd this come up?
When I went up to the Craft Underground, that was the place I went to Wednesday night. I had to drive like 45 minutes north, and it was at a Craft Underground brewery. Place is really cool, but breweries always tend to be pretty expensive. So where did you think Papa went to? The page that said almost out of. Like, this is like they're almost out of special. Like, I think the wording was differently, but like the on the outs page. So the less than a case left of beers worth special.
They're just trying to get rid of it.
I was getting $3 beers, slamming. Yeah, they were trying to get rid of it.
In Auburn, Maine.
Yeah, the Craft Underground.
Yeah.
Cool little spot. There was a poppin' little bar next to it. It was a beautiful night. There were biddies coming in and out. I won't act like I didn't notice. I was literally coming out, and I almost like walked into them, and I'm like, "Oh, you going in?" She's like, "Yeah, no." Literally made a face like, "I'm definitely not going in the place you're in." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, you mean that shithole?
So, yeah, bitch. Oh, you mean that shithole you just climbed out of? Hell no. Hell fucking no.
That's funny.
And then Thursday was 420. So I worked my day of work and then inebriated myself in marijuana. I stopped at a place to get an eighth. It was a $20 special on eighths.
I did not smoke this 420.
Really? First time?
I don't know if this is my first time. I forget if I smoked last year.
Not smoking on 420? I think I've been smoking on 420 every year since I was 17, maybe.
I used to put a hurting on 420.
Me and my boys, we'd sit on their roof, roll up gorilla fingers, smoke them down until they were stingers. You know.
Smoking phalanges.
absolute doinks.
Yeah.
Me and Doinks McGee were smoking doinks with all the doink boys. 420 has become different.
When I was like 15, I got my wisdom teeth out, and it was like 2 days before 420. They're like, yeah, you can't smoke anything. The stitches will come out. So we proceeded to, they were shotgunning me, everything weed-wise. You know, shotgun when you like
That's
put your hand against somebody else's.
You're still smoking. They thought you like couldn't put it against your lips, but they could just blow it into your face.
Yeah. So we were just blowing weed in my face.
That's the same exact thing, dude.
I was fucked.
You're literally still smoking it.
Yeah.
Some people call that an elevator. Some people call that a... Yeah, I guess that would be called a shotgun. When you stand in front and people blow it in your face and you cup it and catch it.
So you put your hands like the asshole sign. You lock hands with somebody, 3 fingers in the other person's 3 fingers. They flip the blunt backwards in their mouth, and they blow straight through the blunt. That's what we did, at least.
Yeah, similar methodology in our groups. The person would flip it around in their mouth, put it in their lips, and then they would take their hands in a cupping motion. And the other person would take their hands in a cupping motion and cup their hands and breathe around their cupped hands as they were blowing it at them. Science. Fucking science. You know. Weed science.
Yeah.
We specifically used to get out on Archie's roof. I don't know why this was our plan every time, but we'd be like, we just gotta get on the roof, man, and get high. We gotta get as high as we can.
Yeah.
So we would get up as high as we can.
I was hitting them perkies too.
Little perk, couple perk sandwiches.
Yeah.
Call them a perk sandwich is a pretty good way to talk about perks. Are you talking about a perk and cheese sandwich? When I went out Thursday night, like I said, I went home early, so I was going to stop at Strange Brew in Manchester, New Hampshire on my way home, but they canceled because they're gay too. I don't know what's up with this early spring. They canceled the show that was near me, so I was like, all right, well, I'm going home anyway tonight. Why don't I stop in Providence, Rhode Island? So that was about 2.5 hours south. Hit up my boy Steve, guy that runs the open mic there. He had an absolute retarded person hosting that night, but, you know, we'll roll with the punches. She was like 65 years old. She was an old Spanish woman nicknamed Diva. She thought she was hot and sassy. She wore the fucking... You ever see the Lady Gaga, like, wig that is beads?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like a wig. It's like a wig that is like beads. It's like her dreads were beads, but she had a bald head.
Lady Gaga wore this?
Look up Lady Gaga beads headpiece. That's what I would Google if you were getting the Google machine going.
I'm guessing she was appropriating black culture?
I would imagine that's what she was doing, and we're going to bury her for it.
Oh, I found her. Yeah, she looks like an absolute fucking idiot.
Yeah, so this person had that on. Literally, bro, one of the worst hosts I've ever met. Like, she'd walk out of the room, have her timer on, forget that the time was about to come up, wouldn't let the person know they were about to go on. She'd be outside smoking a cigarette, her timer would be going off inside while the person has done their set, and they're like, where is Diva? All you hear is just like, into the bar while this person's on stage.
That sucks.
She would say the stupidest shit. Like, before I walked up there, she literally just ruined the room. She was like, all right, so I don't know this guy next, but, like, you know, I'm old. My pussy ain't wet no more. I'm nasty. His name's Declan. She came up to me before she went on the fucking stage, asked me my name. She was like, is it Declan? I'm like, it's Declan. She's like, Declan, got it.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Declan. And no one claps for me. I'm like, oh, great. That's fucking terrible. Like, I went up there. I'm like, give it up for that train wreck.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should have just started shit talking as soon as he got up.
Exactly what I did. So, like, me and the next 3 people had the same experience. We were all just like, dude, what the fuck was that? Like, I've never had a person that doesn't know how to communicate with people host a show. So bad. It was so bad. She kept on just being like, I'm nasty. I'm like, yeah, you are. You're fucking weird and ugly and nasty. That's your trap. Oh, dude, it was bad. We're outside. I'm in like a circle of guys smoking and talking. And we get the local homeless gentleman that walks up. Probably about our age. Absolutely schizophrenic and saying ramblings. We're sitting there, dude. It's so funny. Like, we're talking. He walks up. I have a cigarette in my hand. He's like, me light that for you, pal? I'm like, I got a lighter in my hand. I'm good, man. Thanks. He's like, gotcha. And we're all talking. talking, saying something, and there's just a pause for a second. And he just interjects and he's like, listen, if the offer was made and it was on the table and she was to accept it and that was to make the final offer and she reached the highest heights that she could, would we not just take the offer? Am I wrong for that? And we're all just like, what the fuck did you say to us, dude? So everybody ignores him. We just keep talking and stuff and everything. And out of nowhere, he just pops up again. He's like, animalistic behavior, if we're going to go back to the Stone Age and talk about things that are beautiful, to see the people who found their ways out from the stones, out into the... dude, he's going nuts. While
I can't deal with that. That's when I become evil.
And that's the thing. You have to just, let them get their fucking shit out. There is being evil, but there's a sense where you could tell this guy was just trying to have a conversation, and he couldn't even put fucking words together. If man was to come back from the Stone Age and he's going off on a rant, dude. He's like, and people were to come from behind the trees out into a concrete jungle like this, and we're supposed to sit here and act like animal behavior is peculiar, man? Nah, dude. And he's like, some of his shit's almost making sense.
That's when you hit them with the right. Oh, hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Yo, that's crazy. Hit him with 3 or 4 that's crazies.
I know you're not listening to me. So he hit us with a couple crazy knowledge boosts. And 420, I don't even think he knows what fucking day it is. But we're smoking a joint. And he's like, you getting it hype, brah? That was what he asked. You getting at hype, brah? Ha ha. Nice. He's like, I saw you with your joints in your hands. Am I right? Get out of here. If the offer was on the table, we wouldn't take it, wouldn't we? Meanwhile, this kid isn't holding a joint in his hand. He's just like, what are you talking about? Dude, please
that
stop.
Sounds like an alien.
That's pretty much what was going on.
He's literally an alien. He's just saying human words.
The 3 sheepish white kids that are standing around me that don't have too much of a backbone, you can tell they're all just like, I'm scared, Declan, what do we do? they're all just sitting there, and I'm just playing along as he's talking. And you sit here and think he's absolutely psychotic, and then a girl with kind of a nice body walks by, and she walks into the pizza place, and he goes, what's up, sweetie? And then she walks in the door and goes, she walks in the door, and you sit here and think this guy isn't speaking any sense, and he just goes, damn, am I right? Oh, you can say absolute fucking nonsense, but a girl with kind of a dumper walks by, and you're like, back to normal, butt cheeks, am I right? And
dude, he's so delusional, he's just homeless hollering at shawties.
Literally. Dude, I was dealing with people like that all week. I was dealing with actual meth heads all week. The crews I was training from Tuesday through Thursday, real sweet bunch, but most likely on the methamphetamines. And the leader of their crew, he's in a cane. He said to me that he's retired 3 times. I don't know how that's possible, but he's retired 3 times. His son's just trying to get his act together. His son just got out of jail.
I was going to say, that's code for went to jail.
Zach is with us. He looks like an Alaskan bush person. He sounds like an Alaskan bush person. His teeth look like he's been fucking opening tin cans with his front teeth since he was 11. And so I'm getting a feel out for everybody. Justin doesn't have a driver's license because he just got out of jail. Zach doesn't have a driver's license because he's severely epileptic and can't go more than 3 weeks without having a seizure. The other guy can't fucking drive because he doesn't have a license because he just took it because he wasn't paid up on tickets.
You're with a couple all-stars.
And then the fourth guy who's a worker, is just a sweet guy named Nate. Doesn't know a single one of these guys. Worked with him on a job site once. They invited him saying, hey, it's a paid training day with a new company we're working with. We're looking for some contracts. Why don't you come swing by? He had no clue what he was getting into. It's 2 hours from his home. He's staying at his mom's for the training. The first day is just absolutely insanity. The second day is just it again. When I got done, these people left and he came up to me and he's like, hey, can I just talk to you when they leave? I'm like, yeah, sure. They all leave. And I just said it before you could even say it to me. I'm like, so they're all full of shit, right? And he's like, oh my God, thank you for saying it. Jesus Christ. He's like, I couldn't wait for them to leave. He's like, I did not feel comfortable with any of those people, man. So I'm working with all these guys, talking to them. We're working at a house. It's lunchtime. They're such degenerate drug addicts that they're picking on the one guy in their group. Yeah, we don't like Dakota. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. I'm so ready to punch him in the face. You see me almost punch him in the face there earlier? It's fucking crazy. Should like the one kid Dakota that's just like an absolute lunatic. He's just like, I should have done it. It would have been funny. Like saying weird shit like that the whole time. Like when I was doing my training class, we have to use blowtorches for like cooking the gutters to like dry them out. And he's like, I always have a blowtorch on me because I do a lot of dabs.
Dude, they sound like Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, dude, they literally sounded like Trailer Park Boys the way they were talking the whole time. Then like we get to a job site, I'm like, oh, you got your dabs on you? He's like, nah, man, I'm all out of dabs. I've just been ripping Reclaim. Been really tough recently. So like I'm just dealing with these lunatics. And the one kid finally breaks down. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I just got out of jail. He's like, I was in jail for a little bit. I just got out 4 months. I got caught with fucking methamphetamine and fentanyl. He's like, they tried to get me for distribution because no matter what with fentanyl, it's always distribution. I'm like, yeah, totally. I've heard that before. The other guy,
Nice.
Zach's like, I'm getting clean too. I've been clean for a little bit now. I'm like, I was like, what was your drug? He's like, it was meth. I'm like, how about you, Zach? He's like, meth. I was like, I kind of figured. He's like, how'd you know? And like, no joke, like his front teeth are fucking. He has all of his teeth, but the top looks like he just took a power wash to them for an hour and a half until it just ate holes in it. Like his gums just look like he's.
That's disgusting.
He's got polka dots on his gums. And I said, honestly, Zach, I was like, no offense, but your front teeth. He's like, yeah, that probably makes sense. he like took no offense. I was like, I don't know if you haven't seen your front teeth in a while. He's like, I haven't really paid attention to them in a while. I used to do a lot of meth. I'm like, oh, you haven't done that in a while? He's like, yeah, I haven't done it in months. I was just like, I laughed because he was just like, yeah, I haven't done it in months, which means like he's probably done it in the last month. So like,
he did it 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, before he got there.
The fuck out of here.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
The one guy, Dakota, who's just an absolute fucking weasel of a person, they hated him, but I totally agreed with them. Like, the whole time the kid was talking shit, I'm like, yeah, dude, I hate that kid. He's terrible. I can't wait till you all leave. Like, it's pretty much like, I'm like sitting there going like, oh, yeah, I can't wait for him to leave. The whole time they're talking, I'm like, I can't wait for every single one of you to leave. You're all terrible people, except for Nate. He's a sweet boy. Has no clue he was getting into this with you guys. And like, seriously, the guy, when we got done, he's like, so question. He's like, do I have to work with those guys? I'm like, no. He's like, I have my own insurance and everything. I just didn't know what all the details were. They didn't tell me anything. And then when I got here, I found out what was going on. So like, do I have to work with him? And I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, cool. I'm not going to. That was terrible. Just torture for the poor guy.
It's horrible. I'm surprised he stayed all day.
He was working. He worked through his part in his job. Those weren't the only meth heads, dude. There's a lot of people all messed up in Maine, dude. Like I was at a 7-Eleven getting a snack. What do you think was outside? Bunch of meth heads, just fucking being silly boys. Just fucking rattling, saying shit. Fucking get out of here.
You need to get sponsored by 7-Eleven. You're there too
Dude,
much.
I know. I'm on the rewards program now. I've been going there for so long, and I finally was like, you know what, Declan? Sign up for the rewards. Take it back. Take the power back. So I did. I had a fucking 7-Eleven cheeseburger today. What's up with you, dude? Tell me something.
I'm in the new place, getting it set up. They had a meet and greet here in my complex the other day. I missed it.
What?
It was during my work hours. I don't know if I would have went though.
You didn't tell George you had to pull up on shawties at the function?
I was thinking about just maybe looking out the windows, like peering through the blinds maybe. I don't think I was going to go.
You should have walked right up to Jen and like, Jen, I need about an hour and a half. I need to go holler at these sluts over at the meet and greet.
That's what I should say to them?
I hope George or Jen listen to this episode and they go, wow, I can't believe we held Raymond back from hollering at the sleuths.
They knew. I told them.
And were they sad for you? Like, Raymond, what the hell?
Yeah.
You should put your shorts on and holler at shorties at the function.
Why shorts?
So you can show off the goods, the package. You got to put your foot up on a table, maybe a chair. Do a lot of leaning, a lot of hip flexor stretches. Yeah. Just being like, so I'm squatting like, I don't know, 275, 300 now for reps. What about you? We're doing 205 for sets of 3x10.
True.
I really, really, really like egg whites. How about you? You're like, I have a collection of things. Would you like to see them? You're just being really creepy to everybody. I'm kind of a new guy here. Yeah, I'm kind of a recluse. I don't get along with others very much. I'm kind of a wild card.
I would never say this.
You're just like, I'm pretty loud. My last neighbors hated me. You know, I'm kind of a wild card, but I'm the life of the party. I'm here to have a good time, and it's a great way to stay in shape. Did you feel like you missed out on the shawties?
I did.
Well, now all you have to do is walk around like you forgot your shirt in your apartment.
No, dude, I live naked. I've told you.
Didn't you say the laundry is in the other building?
It is, yeah.
Dude, you're gonna have to run from your apartment with a towel on, acting like you just got out of the shower. Like, oh, all my clothes are in the dryer. Sorry, babes. Sorry, sweet babes. Didn't mean to show off my bod.
I've been leaving my windows open
Yeah.
and the blinds open, and I'm like in the bathroom on the toilet, door completely open, and I look out and like you can see directly out of my bedroom window, and I'm like, oh my god.
And that
I'm like half asleep in the morning.
The moment you made eye contact with a little Asian grad student, that's like, oh, it's like, that's a big sausage.
It's fucked up because I can't see, and I expect that people can't see in my windows.
You can make frosted windows pretty quick and affordably. You're going to get some Elmer's glue. You're going to get some paint rollers. You're going to roll on the Elmer's glue onto your windows. It's going to create a frosted effect. I saw it on TikTok. You're welcome. So people can't see ads, Ray.
That sounds trashy.
You trying to show all these hoes your nads? If you are, by all means, keep tweezing your butthole in the mirror in front of the window for all the neighbors to see. Do you have like a neighbor to neighbor of another person? Tweezing your butthole? You're a Brooks. No, I'm kidding. I've never tweezed my butthole.
Like I can see across the street at like the townhouses behind me.
I think you should just start sitting on your balcony and staring until you make eye contact with somebody.
I can't see that far. I live blind at home.
Well, you don't wear your
I live naked and blind. I'm like a mole rat.
You just live like a mole rat, naked, blind, with the lights out, run around bumping into shit. That's why Bo hated you, dude. It wasn't the fucking keyboard. It was just like, it sounds like there's a naked mole rat running around smashing into his kitchen. I mean, dude, come on. You did talk about the one time how you got up on your chair naked and spinning, trying to turn off your fire alarm. I mean, I can't imagine what that sounds like below you.
So yeah, I've been chilling.
You recently have came back to the internet and social medias, right?
What do you mean?
You created a Facebook just to
I deleted my Facebook I had for years, and I just created a new one like in the same month just so I could sell this fucking dirt bike.
Nice. Have you added any relatives or family members to your friends yet?
No, not at all. I have 0 friends.
Did you ever get any messages from family members before that you didn't delete? Like
Never.
when you didn't before you deleted your account, did you ever get messages from family members?
No, I was not on Facebook like that.
So recently I've been getting messages from family members that it's gotten hacked.
What?
Like they must have clicked the same link that they sent me. Like this is like, dude, I got one from like my Christina's aunt sent me a message earlier that's like, hey, this is a video that looks like it's you in it. You might want to check this one out. Or it's like, hey, this is a video of you in a very exposed situation. You should probably click on it and get it deleted. Like terrible, stupid messages like that. It's bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. And it makes me laugh because like one of her aunts got hacked the other day and messaged me. I just had a very interesting encounter with a woman that was just being, stupid in public earlier.
Nice.
I don't think she meant to do it, but like I walked in the store and she just had no information for me. Like I was in Michael's craft store and I was getting tulle fabric, Tull, but it can also be pronounced tulle.
The fuck is that?
It's like that mesh fabric they use for like baby showers and weddings. It's that mesh fabric they make ribbons out of, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's
like you'll see it at like baby showers or like weddings where like the bubbles have like a ribbon made out of like a mesh on it.
It's those shirts you used to wear at the clubs.
Yeah, mesh shirts showing right through the holes.
Yeah, the holes for your nips.
Yeah, extra small.
Yeah.
It's a fabric that is like very popular in craft stores. And I walked in and I said to the girl, I was like, she's standing with another person, and I'm like, hey, do you have tulle fabric? And she just looked at me. She's like, dude, what is that? I'm like, tulle fabric, like the mesh fabric.
Where are you at? In Delco?
Used for crafts. And the guy No, I'm in Michael's. Yeah, in Delco.
That's what I'm saying. She's
In,
like, yeah, we
media.
got any tall fabric here?
Yeah, so like she was like a young black girl, so that's definitely not how she sounded. But she just kind of hit me with the attitude, like she was just like, uh, no, and like guy standing next to her is kind of like a young sassy gay black dude, and he's like, I know exactly where it's at. I got you, dude. So it takes me right to it. Blah blah blah. A couple minutes later, I go up to like check out. I have my baby with me, by the way. You know, I just look like the coolest guy ever.
How do you have this baby?
In a sandwich bag. He's in a baby carrier. What do you mean?
Like you're holding the carrier, or you got him strapped to your chest?
Got him in a cart. Like I literally was like, hold this shit. I handed him my shit that I was carrying, and I put it on him in the cart while I rode around the store, and then I took it out at the counter. So
Yeah.
I'm up front, and she's just saying stupid things to the girl that's checking me out. She's like, she's sitting here eating, and she's like, "You ever had one of these before? They're delicious." No, the girl's like, "No, what is it?" She's like, "One of those Reese's sticks. They're fucking so good." Like, the girl's like, "What are they?" They're like, they're like chocolate peanut butter wafers. And like, if you've never had a Reese's stick before, they're a lot like the Little Debbie's Nutty Buddies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with the
There's like
wafers.
peanut butter chocolate wafer thing that Little Debbie's makes.
Yeah.
So she's explaining it to the girl, and the girl's just like, I can't picture it.
Oh
She's
my
like,
god.
it's like a wax. Yes, that's how she's chewing. She's like, it's like a waxy chocolate on the outside,
Ew,
like
dude,
a peanut.
that's
Like
gross.
she's
I'm getting
explaining
this is
the
grossing me out.
textures. So I said to her, I'm like, it's like a Nutty Buddy. And the girl that has
You
been
chimed
describing
in?
it proceeds to just look at me and go, I chimed in. I couldn't take it anymore, dude. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, dude, I gotta say something. And I looked at the other girl. I'm like, it's like a Nutty Buddy.
How dare this bitch?
It's like a Nutty Buddy. And the girl that's been chewing with her mouth open for the past 30 seconds right now is like, what the fuck is a Nutty Buddy? Like, looked right at me, like, just laughed in my face, like, idiot. What the fuck is that? It's like pretty much how she was talking to me. And I was like, it's a little Debbie thing, like the chocolate peanut butter wafer thing you're describing. She's like, oh, I thought you were talking about Nutter Butters. Those aren't even close. I was like, idiot.
Oh my god.
I'm like, wow, lady, like, eat your fucking snack and shut the fuck up for a little bit. She's not checking anybody out.
You
She's
should have
standing
put the
just up at the
hands on
counter,
her.
talking to the girl. I was about to put the hand of God on her and take her candy and leave. Oh, dude, got me riled. I was red-assed.
You hear somebody talking about snacks and you just get violent?
No, I tried to chime in and she made me feel like an idiot. I'm like Nutty Buddies, and she just looks at me. She's like, no, you're stupid. It's nothing like that. Stop talking to us. That's how she made me feel. It's how I felt. So I responded with anger. I slapped that bitch right across the face with a Twizzler pack and walked out, stole the Twizzlers. Wish I could.
What a weirdo.
I feel like a weirdo. Because we're not married, technically Christina can go in and claim like WIC and food stamps for the baby.
Oh, like EBT and
so
shit?
I got that going for me. Get about 3 free gallons of milk a month, yogurts and cheese, lots of vegetables and stuff. It's pretty sweet.
That's dope.
Most stuff I was never eating before, but now I get it for free.
I had this pompous ass woman at the bar give me her payment to pay her tab. She's so pompous and just ridiculous. You know how they are.
Like being like cocky.
Yeah, and she hands me her debt or credit card.
Who are Raymond? Who is they in this, Raymond?
These white ones.
Is it Guatemalans?
No, the white women, dude.
Oh, I always forget we're always talking about these quiet women.
She hands me her card, and stuck to the card is her EBT card.
Did you flame her?
No, I just walked over to her, didn't even say a word, just handed it to her. She proceeded to have to explain to the guy that she was with why she gets EBT.
My God.
So embarrassing.
You should have made an example of her and been like, man, you should have walked over to her and went, ma'am, I can't pay for liquor with an EBT card. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you have any other forms of payment? Actually, there's another one that was stuck to your EBT card. Should I try this one? Like, just flame her.
It's ridiculous.
Hit her with a hard sorry. Sorry. So sorry about this. Did you happen to listen in to hear what her reason was for having EBT?
No, it was, I don't even know what it was. It was her ex-husband's. I couldn't even tell you. It made no sense.
It was like she was broke as shit and she was out buying expensive drinks.
She's at the bar drinking $15 cocktails.
Yeah, it sounds like she's a cocksucker.
Yeah.
You ever noticed stray cats in your neighborhood?
No, not yet. I haven't.
So the one wild, if you ever seen a stray cat that's really been putting in the hours whooping ass in the neighborhood, he's usually missing his tail.
Yeah, he's got like a cut ear or some shit.
Yeah, he's got like pointy ears, like he was fucking cutting them down to make himself look more aggressive. And then his tail is usually about a half-inch long because he either lost it in the winter or another cat got him.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for that cat.
This is what you've been thinking about?
I feel like that cat should be the new spokesman for Bud Light.
For Bud Light? Are you off the BLs?
No, I haven't gone off the BLs. I'm going to pump a bunch of BLLs in my fucking cram hole this summer when I drink some Bud Light Limes.
True.
Do you see how bad that situation went for them?
I feel like it's propaganda, but who knows?
So, like, it is propaganda, but the thing is that they let the propaganda influence decision making. So, like, all these different beer brands and companies have already done this, all right? There's been plenty of, like, gay people, rainbow flags on cans and stuff. So, not a big news. What they ended up doing and why this was such a big deal and why people made a big deal about it was because it was a transgender person celebrating their 365th day of transition. Now, because of how hard that marketing campaign backfired, and Bud Light was like, no, it's not that big of a deal. But like the next day after they got all this backlash, they pumped out immediately a Clydesdale commercial on the Budweiser front. And then they sent their fucking marketing director on a leave of absence. Like, yeah, no, we weren't that worried about it. Not a big deal. We're just going to maybe fire this person. No big deal. Like,
I don't think it's real. It wasn't a big deal. I don't think it was a problem for them. And I think it's doing exactly what it should have done. Everybody's talking about Bud Light. Their numbers are probably not down. They're probably up.
it's just like when Peloton pumped the price up on the Peloton. People were like, well, we need to buy more Pelotons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, think about it's Bud Light's all over the news now. They're probably making more money than they ever have. That shit worked.
Yeah, but do you see that they like the person that was the marketing director is on leave now?
I didn't know
How did that happen?
Honestly.
That's the confusing part is like what influences are forcing people to like be out on leaves without being like unpaid leave. I think that's what was announced. Their leader of marketing for Bud Light was out on unpaid leave due to the backlash from the situation. Like, dude, it's gonna be a Saturday Night Live. 100%.
Oh, were they hot?
That's like what's gonna happen. Like, they should. Oh, man, that really should be a Saturday Night Live sketch. It should be the Bud Light Lime commercial. Sorry, the Bud Light commercial the day before the news hit, the Bud Light commercial the day after it. It's like Bud Light, transgenders, all different types of people, binaries, transitioning adults, gays, straights, under one American flag. Bud Light, drink it together. And the next day, like the song in the background, it's like, we're all gay together. Bud Light's for Americans. And the next day, it's just immediately another commercial with just like a bunch of horses. It's like, we weren't that gay yesterday.
Just kidding.
Like, that's literally what happened. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, it was comical how quick they fucking put out a Clydesdale commercial, Raymond. Like, it was comically timed how fast this Clydesdale commercial came out. Like, and the Clydesdale commercial that they put out is literally like a Clydesdale commercial. Like, we're still the old Budweiser. Nothing's changed. This is still America. Americans love Budweiser.
There's no way their numbers went down. They're probably selling more than ever.
Dude, and their marketing went well because like top people that drink it, like Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis was like still drinking Bud Light. Joe Rogan was like, yeah, man, we're Bud Light. So having it in the studio. JB, can you fire up a Bud Light for me, please?
Yeah. Who really cares? Speaking of beer, did you hear about this French story about Miller High Life?
Whoa, they got Miller High Life in France.
They're all pissed about it.
I bet you they have the Champagne of beers in the Champagne region of France.
Well, that's the problem.
They're like, oh, baton, this is not champagne.
They're not allowed. So basically, the people who guard what champagne is and like the use of the name.
They are trying to call this cheap beer champagne.
So there was a shipment.
This is a tragedy.
There was a shipment that came in. The Comité de Champagne asked for the destruction of the shipment of 2,352 cans because it was infringing.
And what happened? Did a fleet of white boys from South Carolina come in like, you think you can just come into France and destroy our sweet American beer in France? Hell no, brother.
I don't know what to do with
There was a French-American war that ended very quickly. They sold us Louisiana in the trade.
I don't know, but they crushed these cans. It's kind of fucked up.
Dude, I can't believe they would murder those sweet boys.
Miller High Life hits.
Yes, it does. It hits for America. Raymond, do you believe in aliens or not?
Of course. I think so.
You do?
Yeah. Do you?
Well, let me ask you, have you ever had any experiences or proof that make you think that you believe?
I'm not sure. We saw lights in the sky when we were younger, but I feel like that was the beginning of the use of drones, and we didn't know about them yet, but I'm not sure.
Have you ever had any weird experiences where you woke up and your butthole hurts and you didn't remember it being that way?
No.
Just that one time at band camp? So I have an interesting story to bring up from Texas. What could be a plot from an episode of The X-Files. The authorities are investigating the mysterious deaths in 3 Texas counties of 6 different cattle that were found with their tongues missing. Ranchers found the mutilated remains of 6-year-old longhorn cows on their property. The officers did not say when the cows were discovered, but said a straight, clean cut was apparent with precision had been made to remove the hide around its mouth and on one side. The meat under the removed hide was untouched, and the cow's tongues were gone with no blood spilled, and the office said there was no signs of a struggle, no footprints, or tire tracks in the area. They added that the grass around the carcasses was also
this is
undisturbed.
Not aliens. I know who did this.
Who do you think it was?
Little Mexican women.
And now why do you think that?
Because they were making lengua. That shit hits, dude. Lengua tacos?
I agree. I fucking love lengua tacos. It's one of my favorite cuts of meat. But here's what, you think they were such little Mexican women that their feet didn't make impressions? And it seemed as though the cow was undisturbed.
They
and also
swiftly.
Because most likely there was no struggle, because most likely they were sweet little Mexican women and they trusted them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's just mi abuela.
What do you think it was?
I don't know, man. Something took the hides off their face and then cleanly cut their tongues off without leaving any footprints, Raymond. I don't know. It sounds like Democrats.
I have no idea.
I don't know, man. That's fucking creepy, dude. Let's put it, now these are just cows, so cows aren't that creepy, but let's just make it a little creepier. What if you came outside to find your dog's face with his tongue removed? No signs of a struggle, body on the ground, just laying there. How would you feel?
I don't know, man.
It's fucking creepy, dude. I mean, and the weird thing is like, you still see these stories coming out.
On 2 of the 5 cows, a circular cut was made, removing the anus and the external genitalia.
That's weird, Raymond. That's so weird.
They say they could have been satanic cultists who were using the organs for sacrifices.
Yeah, but dude, okay, no footprints though. No tire tracks. No signs of struggle. Also, it doesn't sound like there was a sign of how these cattle were killed. It sounds like they were just found dead. If I'm like understanding it.
Yeah, this is creepy. I have no idea.
Makes you wonder, because they've been open about UFOs now. They're trying to still make them normal. I mean, at this point, don't you think like we've probably given as many buttholes as we could to the aliens from like a government standpoint?
It's kind of scary.
Dude, if the aliens wanted some cow buttholes, we would give them some cow buttholes, dude. I don't know what they're doing. They're acting all types of crazy. Like, you guys aren't giving us enough cow buttholes.
We should just give them the homeless people.
Yeah, we could just give them. Dude, that's actually a way to solve the homeless problem. I don't know why Biden didn't try that. I got one more goofy story for you. Have you ever been on a cruise, Ray?
No. Have you?
No, and I really want to, but like...
Cruises are the ultimate trash.
So this is the article. A widow says her husband was left in the drinks cooler after dying on a cruise for 8 days. So Marilyn Jones accused Celebrity Cruises in a lawsuit of storing her husband's body in a cooler rather than the ship's morgue and allowing it to become horrifically decomposed. So they were 2 days into the trip when Robert, age 79, died of a heart attack. Celebrity Cruises presented Mrs. Jones with 2 options, according to a federal lawsuit that she filed against the cruise lines. Disembark with her husband's body in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and fly back, or agree to have it stored in the ship's morgue until it returned to Florida 6 days later. So she's probably about 95 cosmos deep, and she's like, yeah, put him in the morgue. I'm cool with it. He's finally dead. I'm sad, but, there's 6 days left of this cruise. I bought an unlimited drink ticket. So she opted to remain with the ship, continue everything, and when she got back, they came to get the body, and they discovered that it had been moved from the morgue to a cooler on a different floor. Having been stored at insufficient temperatures, the body had horrifically decomposed, and the lawsuit said preventing his family from being able to have an open casket and wake for his funeral. For her trauma, Miss Jones has been married to her husband for 55 years, and she's seeking at least $1 million in damages. I'm sorry I'm laughing at that, but Jesus Christ. She's like, we were married about 55, 56 years. What do you mean? What do you think? 1 or 2 million? What do you think I should ask these cocksuckers for? Yeah, we spent all our money on cruises and gambling. This is going to be the actual money we leave behind for the kids because they were going to be pissed in about 4 months. We were going to give them the fucking van.
Who can they blame this on?
Celebrity Cruise Lines. That's what you know what I mean? That's who they're blaming it on. I mean, who the fuck was like, yo, we got too many bodies in the morgue. I think we should go put him in the cooler. Yeah. He'll probably like it up there. It's nicer in there.
That's gross.
Who took his body for a walk and was like, oh, dude, it's like, you ever seen those reels where it's like a person just gonna take a little nap on my lunch break, and they wake up and it's dark out and they're like, oh, I'm fired. Yeah. So somebody definitely took the dead body for a walk. He's like, this is nice, walking the dead bodies. And he's like, oh, somebody shit their pants and threw up at the same time up on the 11th floor. I'm gonna have to put this body in the cooler for a little bit. I'll be back. I won't forget about this. He gets up there, immediately gets attacked by a zombie wave of 45 fat people. The buffet ran out, so they're just flinging bodies and murdering people. And he totally forgot that he left Mr. Jones in the cooler.
Oh my God.
I mean, he barely made it out alive. He was in there fighting off bodies. This is people with unlimited drink coupons just trying to tear through small Spanish workers working on a cruise line in Florida.
Yeah, dude. The most vile people ever go on cruises.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up. I mean, I think next time I would probably just opt to get off in San Juan and fly back.
How are you going to continue your trip, dude?
He spent 6 more days on the cruise. She's like, well, we're not going to waste a good cruise. I mean, that's what he would have wanted. Let's wrap it up here. I mean, did you have fun this week? Are you having a good time?
I did. Always. It's always a good time.
Are you ready to get some people on our show?
Are you going to come down here? We're going to record. We have something lined up with I don't think he would call himself this, but a meat lord. We've acquired a meat lord.
Meat lord?
Yeah. Lord of meat. Somebody I know that knows pretty extensive details about meats and the preparation of meats. I also have a friend.
Nice.
Who's he's a young Turkish gentleman. He has some interesting stories about the gypsies.
Nice.
So we got that going for us.
Does he have a pretty interesting backstory?
We'll just have to see. I think so.
We're going to get into this.
But yes, we have that coming up, guys. We're going to record some episodes in person while Declan's in town when he's not traveling. You can follow us on our page at 555 Let Me Call You Back on Instagram. Declan is on Instagram at Declan Loves Meatballs. And myself, you can find me at Ray_Brooks, BROOX. And give us a phone call. I said the number in the beginning, but it's 215-360-3451.
Don't forget to hit us up on any of those socials. If you feel like you have a cool topic you want us to go over, maybe some cool people to meet up with, or if you feel like you want to get on the episode and we think you're a cool guy, we might answer your message. And if we don't answer, it's most likely because you're a big loser and we don't want to talk to you. But I'm going to be in Albany this week for work. All right. So if you hear this episode and you're in Albany, New York, hit me up and offer me sexual favors. Other than that, Raymond, I love you, my brother. Actually, don't offer me sexual favors. I'm looking for comedy. Shoot me a message on my social medias. Hit me up on Instagram or even Facebook. You can find me on my full name. I'm looking for information for Albany, New York this week. If you are there the week of 4/25, hit your boy up. Other than that, salutations, my young Christian warrior, loyal servant.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. We would really appreciate the support. Find us on Instagram at 555 Let Me Call You Back and on Facebook at the Let Me Call You Back podcast. You can find comedian Declan Brooks on Instagram at Declan Loves Meatballs. See you next time.